I've known Megan for more than 10 years. Our agency first hired Peter Hill Design on behalf of a client when they needed a new creative marketing and design firm, and Megan was a primary designer on that account. I've been a client of Megan. I have partnered with Megan on new business in my role as head of Henry Schaefer Partners, and I've also been a tenant of Megan's when my business co-leased from her after she took over Peter Hill Design. I've always known Megan as a warm and creative individual, but as I've gotten to know her, I've been really impressed and excited for her future as an entrepreneur. She is someone who, while she's not fearless, she is really able to overcome her fears and take risks in a really grounded way. So the entrepreneurial spirit she has, I think, is in the best possible way. She goes out, she evaluates risks, she is open to other consultants or leaders or mentors who can help her and doesn't have ego around that. So she really is open to the best ideas to solve problems. And that certainly was true when she took over Peter Hill Design.
I'm the owner, president, creative director of Peter Hill Design. So we're a branding, marketing, advertising agency. We're a small team, take on a lot of various creative challenges for business clients of all types. So I worked with Peter for a long time, probably 8 years before he got sick. I was his right-hand woman at the time and was very involved with all the clients, all the projects, everything going on with the business. But I never had any business education. So when he asked me to buy the business, it was a really hard decision. I was pregnant with my second baby. I didn't know whether I should buy the business, I should take the clients and start my own business, if I should go interview for jobs. But it ultimately came down to the fact that he built this up and I really wanted to keep his legacy alive. A lot of our clients currently today have had relationships with Peter. Today, Peter Hill Design is poised for growth. We recently brought on an investor. We recently have hired a salesperson. Really two new things that have not been a part of the business before. We're adding some services like social media and PR and expanded digital advertising services. So I think in the next couple of years, it'll be exciting to see how large our team grows. I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. Growing up, I made scrunchies out of my school uniforms and sold them at the school store. Looking back now, I can see that, but I don't think I always knew that I had that. As an art major, I think that in the creative type, you always think about things differently. So being an entrepreneur and trying to make money out of things wasn't exactly always what you're trying to do, but it's led to where I'm at today. I was always going to be an art major or design, interior design, something. I knew that. I thought in high school I thought I might be an art teacher. I went to St. Ben's because my brother went to St. John's mostly. I was going to go to Drake, but I couldn't stay in Iowa. I needed to go, so I followed my brother. And I knew I was going to do art always, but I started taking the education classes and realized that, well, it's not for me, so just stuck with the fine art. The most important part of my time there that really affects my career now is that I had a internship or work study at the marketing communications office. I learned all the computer programs there. I was doing on-campus posters and design for a lot of other things. So it was a great experience to really get me launched into the work field. So when I went to interview for jobs, I already had real world working experience and some portfolio. I think studying abroad just allows you to see things through a different lens. You are seeing the world, how, you know, different people live, how different cultures come together. In a city like London, it was full of tons of different cultures, and there's just not that experience in, you know, growing up in the Midwest, going to school at St. Ben's. It's just a much larger view of the world. Well, I think the connections that you have been made at St. Ben's and St. John's are long term. So currently I have multiple clients that are Johnny's, Benny's, and different things have kind of come up in their lives, entrepreneurial, and Johnny in particular called me on a Friday afternoon and said, I just left my business, like my job, and I'm going to start my own business, and I have a name, but I need you to do everything. So I need a logo and everything, like today, can I come in? So that's one example of where kind of those connections just keep circling back. My kids are really part of my work as well. So my 2-year-old spent his first year of his life as a baby in the office. So I just decided with number 3 he didn't need to go to daycare right away, so I just brought him in, and I've set up a whole pack and play and stroller, and everyone got to hold the baby if someone called on the phone. And I really think that it's important for my kids to know about where work is and what we do. So on days off, my girls come in and they color and they bug everyone, and they start to learn the computer programs. I told my 8-year-old that next summer she's an intern. So the proposals that we send out to people, and when we talk to people, the very first thing we put on it is that we are listeners. And I think that's one of the Benedictine values that's really important. So we go in and really try to listen to the problem and determine how we would solve it through listening first, hearing all about what our client and partners want to say before we give them any ideas. So I think that's a big value that I didn't even know I was carrying out, but we are. Another thing is the hospitality. I want our office to be hospitable. We always are bringing in food. I really want everyone to feel like it's a place they can come and participate. We bring in partners for brainstorming and other things, and we're always trying to make our office environment hospitable and fun. For creative students, I would say to do things outside of class and really build up your portfolio. Any sort of outside of class work, writing a blog, taking photos, making films, anything like that, it's going to lead to a great career path.